think we're good. We're all family here.
Jennie, did you think about running a play just for Payton to get 40?
No,
Okay.
I didn't. I honestly, I don't even pay attention, and I was actually kind of pissed she missed a couple. So,
Did you know you could have got 40?
I mean, yeah, it's up there. Everyone on the bench was saying it, but again, just credit to everybody because I wouldn't have got those shots or looks without the passes. So,
well, and I think a big thing, and we've talked about this both in TV and radio after, when you had Reagan obviously not play in the second half and play limited minutes. And then Liz gets hurt, and we have a tendency to settle a little bit for just a lot of outside looks. And so I thought she did a nice job. I mean, obviously she shot the ball really well from outside, but I thought she did a really nice job of being able to get some paint production for us. And I thought our whole team did. I think there were it'll be fun to see how many of those, her paint points especially, were assisted.
Mm-hmm.
Jennie, have you ever seen a player take over a game scoring-wise over a 5-minute span like Payton did those first 5 minutes of the second half?
I don't know. I don't necessarily think about that. I think my problem with Payton is I just have such incredibly high expectation for her that I feel like there are just so many things that she can do. And it's not always in the scoring, and today it was. But I think she's just such an incredible, versatile player. And when she lets the game come to her like this, really special things happen. So, we got to see, and nobody else did because it was on something.com, against Duke. Like, you saw her really take over in that game when we needed her to. And so you've seen glimpses of that before. But in a short span, I don't know, but I know that there's a lot more in her tank. Sorry, Payton, you wanted a better compliment.
no, that was okay. That was what I expected.
How was that first half and second half for you?
I'll take it.
It was, like Coach was saying, none of it came out of the flow of the offense, and you look up and you're like, has she scored every point here in the one of those kind of moments?
Yeah. Again, I gave credit to Jonas on radio. He had reached out to me yesterday, just looking back at some film and trying to give me some pointers on shots and what I can do to just continue to be more efficient. And I think that was really helpful for me. When I have simple things to work on in a game, I think that's good for me. And again, I think it came from the offense, like the looks, and a lot of times maybe it didn't look like it because I've been settling more for threes, and I thought, like she said, in this game, I was able to get easier looks and get to the paint, and it's because my teammates were setting me up.
Coach, did you have an update on this list? She got eye contact knocked out there.
Yeah, I mean, she's a knight. I mean, her whole face is swollen for sure. So I don't necessarily have an update on what that means going forward. I don't with Reagan either. I know she tried it today. Obviously, you got to see her kind of try, and we couldn't have her in the second half. So from that standpoint, but I don't know if there's any long-term anything with Liz. I'm hoping not, but she got a good one. Yeah. I mean, I thought I was going to get teed up because I think the ref was about to tee me up too because I was sprinting on the floor. It's like when you're kids, it's like the soccer mom thing, yeah. And I just went. So I was a little out of my box, but and it wasn't a mean play by any. It wasn't mean spirited by any means. It just was her face was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
And with her going down, Landry Allen got some more runs.
Yep.
Here. What do you think about just her time out there in that corner three?
Yeah. And I said this before on the radio before. She's really put us in a position. Her attitude is just absolutely phenomenal, and so it's hard not to get her out there anyway. But then when she stepped in the last game with the confidence that she stepped in against a lot, high-level athleticism, she's going to be hard for us not to get in. And I think, because she just does some really good things, and I think she's still learning. And it was also fun to be able to watch her and KJ kind of play together. And so I thought they did a nice job. I think the most impressive thing was probably her perimeter defense. And because that's the question you have, right, is can she guard out there? And they're guards, and they'll pick you apart. And there were a couple of mistakes she made, but she knew and she adjusted. So even her self-adjusting like that, with the limited experience that she's had, really shows that, one, she's really engaged every day, and two, she's making us put her in a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the third quarter, you knew Reagan wasn't going to play, so you put Skylar back down there. At the offense went off. You guys went off, on a 12-0, 13 run. Skylar didn't score, but other things probably happened. Could you kind of tell us what exactly went on there?
Well, I think we also have to remember they're more of a guard-like team, so it was a little bit of an easier matchup from that standpoint than if maybe they had a center that was go-to. So from that standpoint, I feel like we felt like it was a little bit more of a matchup. I feel like we had to get a little bit more movement on our offense, which we were able to do that. And we debated, and honestly, Liz's foul trouble, we wanted to be able to get her in and be able to go. And I thought Lexi Keys, I thought her defense was really, really good today. I thought she set the tone, and a lot of it, again, is perimeter shots and outside screens. So that was a reason that we put with Lexi. And Lexi's just so mature. She can just handle making mistakes and keep going, and ball pressure, and they were pressing, and so it made a lot of sense. And so I think there was, I want Skylar to take more looks in there, and that is why we also went small, so that we could get Sky going a little bit, and obviously it didn't. And I think she knows it. I think she's passing up some things maybe she didn't think, and she's obviously working through some things. We still believe in her. We still want her to do really well. She's still a major leader on our team. I thought she had some good box outs today. I thought she had, her defense is much better than it's ever been. And we need her to get going. And I don't think there's one doubt that she has that we believe in her. She's just really hard on herself right now, and she's just got to work through it.
Jennie, I don't know if we'll get to talk to you in the next couple of days before Sunday. Just how big of a game is this one going to South Carolina in that kind of a test against that kind of result?
Well, fortunately, every game's a big game, it feels like right now, especially with how we're all making it, right? The first year in the SEC, and we're all making everything so big, and so we're dealing with one game at a time. But this is also the difference of being in the SEC and not being in the SEC, and this is not a comparison to the Big 12. This is not a knock on anybody, but you're going to play in the best team in the country, the best program in the country. I don't care if there's a number 2. We all know, right? They're a storied team. They're a very deep team. And you go see where you're at. You go see where you're at mentally. You go see where you're at in terms of X's and O's. You see where your team's at. And that's where you start to see where you're actually at. Like, it doesn't matter what little rankings in front of us either if we don't go there and show up, and we don't go there and give everything that we have. So the game is a beautiful game, but it teaches us a lot of things. And so the scoreboard will tell the exact story that needs to happen. And so if we're not ready, that will show. And if we're ready, it will show.
Payton, sort of along those lines, what's that challenge like for you in facing a team like South Carolina on Sunday?
Yeah, honestly, I think we're really excited. Like she said, going to South Carolina and playing in front of a ton of fans and playing at a historic program. And I think that they're very similar to us, where they're deep and they have a lot of people scoring in double digits. It's not just 1 or 2 players. So I think it'll be fun. It'll be a good matchup for us, and we're just excited because we're going to get better from this game, and we're going to bring it in South Carolina.
Payton, I know night to night the matchups are different, and certainly when you go South Carolina. But can you guys take confidence from how free flowing it felt there in the second half? Because I know just a couple weeks ago, Jennie was talking about believing in yourselves, playing with the confidence. Can a second half like this help with that heading to South Carolina?
Yeah, I think it does, but I think mostly it's going to be these next couple practices we have before we even get on the road to South Carolina. I think that really the way that we practice and the way that we show up in those days really proved to be how we play in games. So I think that's going to be really important for us.
Coach, y'all held Missouri to a 33.3 three-point shooting percentage, and they're ranked 7th nationally in three-point shooting. What do you think that says about your defense and how y'all did on that side of the ball?
Well, I don't know. I feel like Missouri makes you work, and they expose you. And so you have to be able to guard the 3, and you have to be able to guard off the bounce. There's a lot of opponents where you only have to do one or the other, right? And these guys, they make you do all of it, and they'll set 17 screens in one possession that you have to work through and you have to communicate, and they'll expose you. And there were some areas where I feel like we were really exposed. And then there were some areas where I felt like, man, we had some really great, solid defense. I don't know yet if it was, yeah, we just guarded the 3 really well, or they didn't shoot it really well. I don't know. I do feel like we had some really good possessions, and then I feel like, I don't know. Now, I will tell you that Ashton Judd is really good, and I've seen her play really well. And today she struggled a little bit, and I think some of it was our defense early on, and I think it was a physical game. And then I also think some of it is sometimes people have an off night. So we get to play them again. So I'll probably be able to answer your question better after that point.
Jim, Sahara's ability to catch, I know I've asked you this before, but she had 2 catches on the block that I thought not everybody could make. Then the football catch she made, our tight ends didn't make all year, so, you know. I mean,
You said that, I did not say
well,
that.
you know, hey, everybody knows it, right? I mean,
No.
so, you know, but her ability to catch really helps your offense at times, doesn't it?
Well, I think Sahara, I mean, look at how much she's evolved, you guys, from a year ago. I mean, you saw her, she went from being completely unguarded to now she's hunting in 5 assists in a game, and she's trying to make the offense flow and go. And, you know, and tonight was rough. I mean, her foul calls got to her a little bit, and that's something where she'll continue to go. I mean, her leadership, her consistency in the everyday. I mean, Payton talking about practice, like she's one that she shows up every day. And so those catches tend to happen. And again, I'm hard on her too, just like I'm hard on her, where I feel like there's a lot of rebounds she missed and she could get. And so I think that's just part of who she is. But I just can't say enough of how much she's become a stronger leader. She's become stronger in the classroom. Her confidence and how she walks into a space, and it all translates when she steps between those lines. So it's been fun to be able to watch that.
Anything else, guys?
You guys, thanks for all being here. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.